So his name is Muhammad Salah. He was talking about fabricated hadith.
Brothers and sisters, I think it is indeed our duties as seekers of knowledge to purify the seerah and the sunnah.
He says, brothers and sisters, he thinks it's our duties to purify the seerah. When they say seerah, it is the biography of the prophet. Normally they will tell you the Siratul Nabi, Siratul Nabi, the seerah, the biography of the prophet. And then the sunnah, right? They believe there's a sunnah aside the Quran. We believe in sunnatullah in the Quran. They said there's a sunnah of the prophet. So he said, brothers and sisters, it is our duty to purify. Right? So if you are a Sunni, you are a Shia, you are whatever, of course, let's team up and do this work together. But of course, that doesn't stop you from being a mushrik. I'll tell you are a mushrik. But anyways, I'm not saying God said it in Quran chapter 12, verse 106. Most of them do not believe in God except whilst they are mushriks. So most of the people out there, you are mushriks, whether you like it or not. But let's team up again. Let's work together to, according to this scholar, Muhammad Salah, in order to purify the seerah and the sunnah. So babashuaib is going to help you, right? Even though I don't agree with you and your books, but I'm going to help you. It's a voluntary job. So I want to give you a helping hand. Okay. So let's listen.
From the fake and the fabricated stories.
So we have to purify the seerah of the prophet and the sunnah from the fabricated hadith. Okay.
Especially the hadith and the stories which people ascribe to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu.
Especially the hadith and the stories which people ascribe to the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam. Especially the hadith and the stories which people ascribe to the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam.
As if it was a fact or reality.
As if it was a fact or a reality. This is what the scholars do. When you watch them, watch their faces. Khalid Yasin, Yasir Kadi, Numan, Ali, Mufti Menk, Zakir Naik, when they are talking about the hadith of the Prophet. And these hadith are just allegedly. Remember, allegedly. It's an allegation. They were alleged. It's alleged. And then they attribute it to the Prophet, which even though they are falsehood, then they will make you believe as if they were witnesses to that statement. So statements coming in a fabricated book, these scholars will be preaching about it as if they were there, as if they witnessed it, as if the prophet even endorsed it. So listen.
And it had no essence whatsoever.
And these books, hadith books they are attributing to the prophet, has no essence whatsoever.
I'm not saying that it's a weak hadith. No.
He's not saying that the hadith is da'if, meaning weak. He's trying to tell you something here. You know, in their own books, they have da'if, which is weak. If something is weak, why use it? And why do you even leave it in your books if it is weak? Can't you put it to the trash? Hello? If I have a battery in my phone and it's weak, what do I need the battery for? Can't I throw it away and get a new one? Hello? You have a microphone and it's weak. What do you need it for? Get a new one. You have an hadith and it's weak. What is it doing in your book? That is why correctional officer tells you have a garbage book. Okay.
Fabricated stories. Some of these stories, which we circulate them as if they are as authentic as a hadith.
He is now claiming some of these stories, they circulate them as if they are authentic a hadith. He's going to tell you the problem.
Are very common to the point that people definitely believe it is something sound.
Because these hadith books are very common. These narrations, they are common. People are using it. So people believe it is very sound because the majority of the people don't investigate because they believe in the status or the positions of these prominent scholars, the leaders. like Mufti Menk, Zakir Naik, you mentioned them, Numan, Ali, Mahdi, they know.
Including ourselves.
So he didn't leave, the scholars, he didn't leave themselves out. They are part of this agenda. And that is what correctional officer has been trying to wake you up all these years, telling you, stop listening to the lies these scholars are telling you. Ask them questions, investigate. They've been lying to you.
I mean, we've been involved in sometimes sharing with the audience some stories that we have been taught by our teachers as we were young.
They are involved by sharing some stories which they themselves, we them as scholars of today, have been taught by their teachers. Even though the stories are fabricated, they are lies. But because they believe in their teachers, and back in the days, they told us not to question our masters and our teachers, they also took it. And they are brainwashing the masses because of social media, YouTube videos, TikTok videos. So you go and take it because you see if Mufti Mek saying something, you say, MashaAllah, because he has that nice voice. And you say, Allahu Akbar. And then you think he's an Arab just because he has nice voice. And you take his videos. And then you think you have Islam, not knowing they are grooming you to become a of course, you have some good mushriks, but you are still a mushrik. Yes. Okay.
So as we were young, we've been taught stories and we circulated them.
As we were young, we've been taught stories. I can admit, even in Ghana, we've been taught Kukwanansi stories. Some of them we believed, we thought it was real. Right? When I got to an age in my life, then I knew that Kukwanansi story was a lie. It never existed. You understand?
As if they were facts and sometimes a hadith. Unfortunately, you know, whenever sometimes you're giving a lecture or a talk, you get carried away, and one of these stories may pop up into your mind and use it as a reference.
So now he's admitting how they actually use these stories when they are giving a talk or lectures, and these stories pop up in their heads and they use it as a reference. Even the scholars in Ghana, they do the same. I know they know themselves, the Sunni scholars in Ghana. They just be telling you something, then they start giving you stories. Toli, we call them Toli. Now in Ghana, if you hear somebody saying Toli, it means lies. Toli is stories made of lies. I'm giving you the assignment, my audience. If you hear any Ghanaian using Toli, in saying Toli, it's stories full of lies. And these scholars are very good at Toli. Toli song. Wallahi, I'm telling you.
It is time to purify our talks, our conversations.
Now, Muhammad Salah is saying it is time to purify our talks and conversations,
our stories, which we teach our children.
Which we teach our children. Just like you take your kids to the madrasa, to these mushriks, the Sunnis, the Shias, teaching your kids in the madrasa. Do you know how they brainwash them with lies? Do you know how much Toli they are putting in your kid's head? Telling your kids your prophet married 6 years old girl. So your kid who is 5 years, 6 years is already grooming themselves to also be slept with any hidden agenda mala.
From these fake stories.
From these fake stories. So we need to protect our kids from these fake stories. Be careful. Yes. Correctional officer is telling you, be careful. You need to protect your kids from these fake stories. The book which is telling you a woman should breastfeed an adult male. Rajulun Kabir. Sahih Muslim 3600. Write it down and check for yourself. Such a book, they tell you, is explaining the Quran. And foolish scholars will just be propagating such nonsensical statements and telling you this is Sahih. This explains the Quran. Come and tell me which verse this garbage explains. So Muhammad Salah just made a confession. This is not from my words, from his own words, right? He made a confession. The video is there. Kindly share it. Let them see it. You know their platform, Huda TV, whatever TV. Share it. I want them to see me and see my face. Correctional officer, me. Let them see me talking about them. I'm holding them accountable today. And when they don't repent, they go back to get God. They get double punishment for it, for lying to the audience for years. And when we are speaking, they say we are the enemies of God and the prophet. This last video is interesting. Many of you have seen this video before, but let's listen to the video.
Claims on the internet or all over the world, what they're really saying: don't follow Abu Hanifa, don't follow Shafi, don't follow Imam Malik, don't follow Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, follow Sahih Hadith only. But you don't know whether that Hadith is really Sahih. You don't know whether that Hadith is mansukh or not. And even if it is classified as Sahih, it's not been classified as Sahih by Rasulullah. It's been classified as Sahih by other muhaddisun. So if you're going to follow another man's opinion at the end of the day, then what's wrong with following the opinion of a man whose opinion has already been followed for 12 centuries? So we can't get away from the fact that all of us are blind followers, and we have no choice but to be blind followers. Because if somebody says this is Sahih Hadith, how are you going to guarantee 100% it is Sahih? It's not, the Prophet didn't say it, another man said it. And Imam Bukhari, rahimahullah, for example, in his compilation, there are 8-9 chains. Imam Bukhari didn't meet them all. He only had to base his judgment on what he heard, hearsay. So you have to place your trust blindly on Imam Abu Hanifa or Albani or other muhaddisun or bin Baz, that what he is saying is Sahih. And is it really Sahih? You can argue all night and all day till Qiyamah, and you will go round and round. We've got no choice but to place blind trust.
Really? Well, me, babashuaib, I have a choice. I don't know about you mushriks. The bozos, they have no choice. The books of breastfeeding, you follow it. Marrying 6 years old girl, you marry and stay. You have no choice to follow this garbage. No, keep on. No problem. We, the Quran is sufficient for us. We don't need a book which tells us to marry 6 years old girl. Neither do we need a book which tells us to go and breastfeed for to be breastfed as in our adulthood. Neither do we need a book which tells us to go and stone somebody to death. We don't need a book which tells me the prophet went to bring 50 prayers from a burak or something. These people are stressing themselves. I'm serious. Did you hear what Mumtaz al-Haq said? Do you see what he said? Did you hear the sensible statement he just made? You are saying it's Sahih. The prophet didn't make it Sahih. Is it really Sahih? That's the question. Who made it Sahih? So is it really Sahih? The books you are following, is it really Sahih? Who made it Sahih? That's how the bozos are disturbing themselves. And babashuaib is helping you. You are infuriated. You are agitated. You hate me because I'm telling you the truth. Well, keep on.